Welcome all. Purpose of this video is to explain about constant ratio plan in portfolio revision. So portfolio is a combination of securities, right? So the securities may be having different risk nature, and based on the risk nature possible return would happen. So as said, the purpose is to explain about a constant ratio plan in portfolio revision. Okay, so in portfolio revision there is many kinds of plans, of which one important thing is constant ratio plan. Okay, so I would like to explain this constant ratio plan with the example I have here. Okay, before moving into the example, I'll just give a brief introduction about what is a constant ratio plan. Here a predetermined ratio is fixed under aggressive and defensive investments. So aggressive means it is shares and defensive means it is bonds. So whenever the ratio exceeds or comes down to the tolerance level, okay, the remedial action has to be taken, and the remedial action is it should be restored back to the predetermined ratio. Okay, the predetermined ratio in our problem is 1:1. So you can see here an investor is planning to have 1:1 investment ratio, right? So which means equally in aggressive and defensive investments. So the tolerance level is 10%. So the investor is starting the investment with 20,000 rupees equally into shares and bonds. So which means 10,000 into bonds and 10,000 into shares. So the market value of shares considered in this example is 5 values. So 25, 23, 19, 21 and 24. So let me start with the first market value. Okay, so the first market value is 25. So how much is invested in bonds? 10,000, right? Equally 10,000. Okay, so what is the ratio? The ratio is usually 1:1 because 10,000 in bonds and 10,000 into shares. So obviously it is 1:1. Okay, so it's 1:1. Okay, let me change this. 1:1. It is a, I would like to mention it as a character because it is changing. So I would like to say this as a what do you say, as a text, I would say. Okay, so 1:1. Okay, I'll just mention it as a character since it is changing. So the number of shares I will be having is, just consider 10,000 invested in shares divided by the market ratio. Okay, so how much shares I am having? I am having 400 shares. So the total investment is investment in bonds plus investment in shares. Fine. Okay, second, so what is my second price? Second price is 23. Okay, so 23, 10,000 into bonds. Okay, so now the investment in shares will come down because market price earlier it was 25 and now it is 23, so it will come down. Okay, so equal to how much? 23 multiplied by how much shares I have? 400, right? So 9,200. So the total investment is going to be investment in bonds plus investment in shares. Okay, what is going to be the ratio? Just consider the investment in shares is 9,200. So equal to 9,200 divided by the base 10,000. So it is 0.92, right? So 0.92 is to 1. So the ratio is 0.92 is to 1. So the trigger point is 10%. So if I say 10%, it is 0.10, right? So if it is 0.90, I would have made a revision, but here it is 0.92, so I am not making any revision because the trigger point is 10%, right? If it is 0.90 or 1.1, I would have revised the portfolio. Now there is no need of changing the portfolio, right? Third, What is the third pricing? Third pricing is 19. So now it has reduced. Okay, fine. 10,000 here, and how much into shares? 400 is the number of shares, and now the price is how much? 19 multiplied by 400 shares, so it is only 7,600. So 7,600 means what is the ratio? 7,600, okay, 7,600 divided by 10,000, that is in bonds, no? In bonds it is 10,000, so it is 0.76. 0.76 is to 1. Okay, so what is the total investment? Investment in bonds plus investment in shares. Okay, so see here, from 1.1 ratio now it is down to 0.76. If it crosses 0.90 or 1.1, I should make a revision, because that is 10%, right? So 0.10 is 10%. See here, now it is 0.24 down, so 24% it is down. Okay, so just if it crosses 10, I should make a change. Now it is 0.24, that is 24% it is down. So what I should do is, I need to bring back the ratio to 1:1. How to bring down? Simple, divide the total investment by 2. So equally, right? 17,600 divided by 2. How much? 8,800. So 8,800 into bonds, 8,800 into shares. So what will happen? Now the total investment will be the same, 17,600, and what will happen? The market price is going to be same. Okay, ratio is 1:1. So how much shares now I will be having? Just consider, equal to, what I should do? Just divide the investment in shares by the market price. How much shares? 463.157. So shares, it's not possible in decimal, so what I would do is, I would just approximate to 463. Clear? What I have done, see here, earlier I had 400 shares, now it is 463 shares. So which means I have purchased how much? 63 shares. Okay, fine. So how I purchased this 53 shares? I have taken 1,200 rupees from bonds and purchased this additional 63 shares. Okay, you can see here there is a difference. So here it is increased by 1,200, here it has decreased by 1,200. So the 1,200 from bonds is taken and invested in shares, such that the ratio is now constant. So the ratio is now 1:1. Okay, fine. What is the fourth pricing? Fourth pricing is 21. Okay, so 8,800 here. So I have 463 shares. So what would be my investment in shares? Equal to price of share multiplied by the number of shares. So 9,723. Okay, so equal to 9,723 divided by how much is in bonds now? 8,800. Okay, so what is it now? 1.10. Okay, 1.10, 1.10 is to 1. What is happening here? Again a trigger point. Okay, so what is the total investment we have now? Okay, 18,000. You see here, from 1:1, now it is 1.10. I said right. So when the ratio increases by 10% or decreases by 10%, we should make a portfolio revision. So now it is 1.10. Again a revision has to be made. So what I will do is, again it should be brought down to 1:1. How I can bring it down to 1:1? Simple, just divide the total investments. Okay, 18523 divided by 2. So how much? 9261.5. Okay, 9261.5. 9261.5. 9261.5. Okay, you can see here our investment is going to be same. Okay, right. So here it is 1:1 ratio, now equally divided. So market price is not changing at the same 21. So how much shares either I would have bought or sold, you just consider here. Here what happened is from 1:1 I am bringing down to 1.1. So what happens here is I am selling some of the shares. I have sold some of the shares. Let me identify how much I have sold. Okay, equal to investment in shares divided by its price. Okay, so 441. I have just round it off to 441. So what happens here, you see from 461 shares now it is down to 441 shares. So which means 22 shares I have sold. Okay, sold 22 shares. Okay, earlier I made a purchase when the ratio was down. I am now selling when the ratio is higher on equity side, right? So 463 minus 441, so it is 22. Sold 22 shares. At what price? I have sold the shares at 21 rupees. Clear? Fine. The fifth one. What is the fifth pricing? Fifth pricing is 24. Okay. Fine. So 921.9261. Earlier it is 9261.5. Same. Okay. Now you see here I have 441 shares. What is the price? 24, equal to price of share multiplied by number of shares I am holding. Okay. Okay, see here. Let us consider what is the ratio. Equal to how much? 10584 divided by 9261.5. I am just dividing the equity by bonds, that's all. Okay. 10584 divided by 9261. Okay, so how much? 1 is to 1.14. 1.14 is to 1. You see, again there is need for a revision because from 1 now it is increased by a 10%. Actually it is 14% increase. So from 1 to 1.14 is 14%. So again my portfolio need to be revised. Okay, so what is the total investment? Just to finish off that. Okay, so this is total investment. So what I should do? Again I should bring back the ratio to the original 1.1 level. So how I can do that? Okay, same thing, I will divide this. Okay, what is it? 19845.5 divide by 2. So equally into shares and bonds. 9922.75. 9922.75. Okay, 9922.75 equally invested. What is the price of share? 24. Okay, so what is the share that I would be holding now? So investment in shares divided by the price of share. So how much? 413. I would just approximate it to 413. Okay, fine. Equal to, okay, so just see here, now the number of shares I am holding is down from 441 to 413. How much? From 441 to 413. How much? I have sold 28 shares. Sold 28 shares. Okay, so you see I am just making a revision whenever it hits a trigger point, that is a tolerance level of 10%. Okay, so this is a constant ratio plan of portfolio revision. Hope the video is informative. Thank you.